maybe it just seems that way, because ever since there's been anime, there's been a Tenchi series. The story of this young man and the 17,000 women who fight over him all started with the Tenchi OVAs. That was popular enough to warrant a TV series, which reset the continuity a bit. Then there was the first movie, Tenchi in Love, which is about the gang going back in time so Tenchi can fall in love with his mom. Alright, okay. There's a second movie about Tenchi falling in love with his daughter. Okay. There's a second TV series called Tenchi in Tokyo, where Tenchi falls in love with a puppet, and Tenchi Forever, where Tenchi falls in love with a tree. Okay, so then they made Tenchi Muyo GXP, which doesn't actually feature Tenchi at all. And this doesn't even begin to factor in any of the continuity starring Japan's favorite character, Sasami. There's an OVA and 2 TV series that revolve just around Sasami becoming a magical girl, the latest being Sasami Magical Girls Club, where Sasami starts an after-school club that pretends they're a cooking club but is actually magical girls. Now, I love you, so I've done the math. And the Tenchi series, as it stands now, adds up to 69 hours and 16 minutes of anime. So if you didn't have to sleep or go to the bathroom, it would take you 4,156 minutes to get through all of Tenchi Muyo. And you know what happens in the end? Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Tenchi still hasn't chosen a girl. I actually have trouble writing the spoiler because there's nothing to spoil. They spend almost 3 days running around and having adventures, and nothing is ever resolved. They were doing Inuyasha before Inuyasha was doing Inuyasha. There's an image I'm never getting out of my head.
Speaking of images you can't get out of your head, Eden of the East. Yeah! I can try to spoil Eden of the East, but I don't think it'll count. The show is about 12 people called Celisos who are forced to try to save Japan and killed if they fail. This is the main character Akira, and he is number 9. All the other plot points are revealed in the opening animation. I'll play an 8-second clip. Be a mocap for these little guys. Okay, now what have we learned in the last 8 seconds? Casey.
Noel Gallagher still has a job.
He does. We're doing anime theme songs. Ooh, Rob, butterflies get run over a lot. They're dangerous.
Okay. Buy a hooker, kill her, burn her, snort the ashes, dance hard techno.
That is too long to fit into an insanity wall. What we really learned is that Celisos members 4, 5, and 10 are going to die. Also, Akira is going to use his phone to become the king. The damn theme song just told us everyone that dies, in what order, and what will happen at the end of the series. I could try for some cheap laughs in the spoiler, but they covered that in the show too. Akira first shows up naked and holding a gun, and in front of the White House. The genius hacker girl is called Mitten. The serial rapist killer is called the Johnny Cutter. And yes, exactly what happens. The hacker that becomes the shut-in when his pants blew away is called Panties. This container ship is full of naked men, and they all want laptops. So I can't really spoil the show at all, but I can tell you what happens in the end. Celiso member 10 sends missiles to put Japan back to pre-World War II status, so Akira has a tanker with 20,000 naked men sent to his mall, and they solve the problem using social networking. Using a pile of naked men to solve problems is like the opposite of 4chan.
That dog is really hot.
He's winking. He's giving me the eye.
He's pretty. He's asking for it.
So speaking of fucking the dog...
Inuyasha.
No, that's really just the entirety of our for this year. So thank you for cheering for us not having an Inuyasha bit. So instead, let's talk about Beck, which is a story about a band named Beck, except it has nothing to do with a real band named Beck. Beck, the anime band Beck, got its name from a dog named Beck, as opposed to the real band named Beck, who may have also gotten its name from a dog named Beck, but a different dog named Beck than the dog named Beck in the anime Beck. Beck, the real band Beck, exists within the anime Beck as an inspiration to Beck. I mean the anime band Beck, not the dog Beck, but neither the anime dog Beck or the real dog Beck. This means that the real dog Beck also exists within the anime Beck, but is still separate from the anime dog Beck, even though the real dog Beck in the anime Beck would be an anime dog named Beck, but not the anime dog named Beck, but the not real anime band Beck from the anime Beck got the name Beck from. The not real dog, not anime dog, not real anime dog, not real band, not anime real band, not anime but in anime band Beck, had copyright issues with the real not anime band Beck. However, these copyright issues were not real copyright issues, they were anime copyright issues. In the anime Beck with the anime real band Beck, which forced the in-anime, not real anime band Beck to change its name to Mongolian Chop Squad in Anime America. This solved the not real copyright issues the not real anime band Beck, named after the not real anime dog Beck, had with the not real, not anime, real anime band Beck, named after the real anime, not anime, real dog, in anime dog Beck for the anime Beck, not the anime band Beck, but the anime without real copyright issues Beck. I guess that makes this all a bit simpler. Let me start over. Beck is an anime about a band named Mongolian Chop Squad. Well, okay, I'm done. Would anyone like some penis next?
Ooh, I have a routine about a dick. Tales of the Abyss. This title is very clear. It's a story about a huge fucking hole. The reason for the abyss is so that there's an excuse to make you spend the entire game falling from a great height, over and over and over again, as was the fashion at the time. You control Luke von Bagra and his friends Jade Curtis, Guy Cecil, and Princess Natalia. War is beginning, and this displeases the Space Pope, a sickly 14-year-old boy by the name of Bone Master Ion. Unfortunately, Ion gets captured more than an anthropomorphic Pokemon at a creepy middle-aged Otakon convention. This is partly because his bodyguard is a 12-year-old girl who fights with dolls, but mostly because he is, for all practical purposes, a princess in a video game, and we all know how that goes. In fact, he is the game's second gayest head of state, and believe me, folks, that is a tough field. Anyway, Ion recruits an escort of badass fighters, and also Luke, to counteract his tendency to do whatever the hell the bad guys tell him to. The badass one's trying to stop the war, and fail. Luke, on the other hand, tries to drop half the continent into the poisonous molten core of the world, and succeeds! It turns out that Luke has a disorder called Piede Fuckwit
which is to say he betrays his family, kills his mentor, and drops several other comments into the slime but feels bad about it this time. The bad guys act like Tails' antagonists, which is to say they're basically right about everything and would have been much more effective good guys than the heroes if they just stopped killing everyone. And next we have Tales of Vesperia, which... The Latin root vesper means evening, and in the game they refer to Vesperia as the brightest star in the night sky. Clearly they meant Venus, evening star and goddess of love. Except they call her brave Vesperia. So Tales of Vesperia is the story of a sexy fighting goddess. So anyway, mankind's short-sighted technology. Hold on. Everyone's seen that. Mankind's short-sighted technology. No, wait. Even better. Mankind's short-sighted technology is slowly destroying the world by making too much air. Our sexy fighting elf, Judith, sets out to save the world by destroying all the technology. On the way, she meets up with some random losers who also like killing people and blowing things up as boobies. And she convinces them to join her party. Unfortunately, they blow up too many things and release the Otakon. The Otakon. It's Greek. It means something like, eat man. Actually, no. The Otakon spends the entire rest of the game sitting in the sky and doing nothing. Well, no. The final boss is this guy, some random immortal who wants to skip the technology and just blow up mankind directly. Judith beats him up and goes with the original plan of destroying all the technology. It turns out she was right, and this does in fact kill Eat Man, who, you may remember, was just sitting up in the sky minding his own business. Still, it's made clear by the dialogue that the Otakon is supposed to have been the real enemy. I can only imagine the writing room trying to come up with a villain no one had used before. Hey guys, how about a ridiculously evil capitalist? He could sell guns to babies, and then sell other guns that use the babies as ammo. Oh, wait. Okay, how about a crazy red-headed assassin who fights you for no good reason despite his obvious crush on the main character? Hey, wait guys, this is a Tales game. Can't we just have all the nobles be evil again? What? What did I say? And in the end, they just decided to fuck it and have the whole game be about Yuri.
While we're on the subject of lesbians, tales of boys becoming men who love, loss, and piloting giant robots are well known to us in anime. But there's not quite as many stories for us ladies, and that's mostly due to Japanese culture. Girls don't slowly become women through love, loss, and piloting giant robots. A girl is silly and frivolous until she marries and becomes an adult wife, mother, and queen of the universe. Adolescence of Utena aims to fill this storytelling hole by condensing the 39-episode coming-of-age story of revolutionary girl Utena into an hour and a half of what the fuckery. And in case the TV show is a bit too straightforward for you, the movie makes sure to wrap its subtext in madness. Like the minute and a half sequence where a mouse and an alligator fetus choke a cow to death. Utena cross-dresses her way into the non-Euclidean Otori Academy, where the social caste is ruled by fencing and half the student population is already dead. Utena fights the main characters in duels to win ownership of Amphihymenia,